Celebrity Fame Academy, and did you watch the final on Friday night? I loved it. EastEnders Kim Medcalf was, of course, the favourite to win, but at that last hurdle she was beaten by the DJ Edith Bowman. Here's a look at some of Kim's best bits.
If I'm going to do it, I'm really going to do it. It's a brilliant experience. It's a surreal experience.
Kim Medcalf, I hope you can sing tonight, because your mouth won't stop going.
I think Perfect is her theme tune, isn't it, really?
I do not want to be the girly swat. I'll do something really... I just feel so tired. I'm just tired. Keep tough, you're a Mitchell.
So how's it got to be?
You've got a great voice, the best voice in the academy. Perfect.
If we raise £1 million, that will be the biggest thing I've ever done in my life.
Well, you did.
And we did.
The show raised £1.3 million.
Yeah.
That's an enormous amount of money.
One night, I think we, on the Wednesday night, we got 900,000 votes. On the Thursday night, we got 1.8 million. So it doubled overnight.
That's
it was just
incredible.
So that was the only indication that we had, really, that the show was doing well. And
yeah,
it was
because you are literally locked away, aren't you? No newspapers, no radio, no television. And you go into a house full of strangers. You really didn't know anybody.
Really didn't know anyone. And actually, I was a bit unsure about whether to do it. I wanted to do, I wanted to do something for Comic Relief, and we get asked to do loads of things, and it seemed a fun thing to do, and I like singing. But the reality side of it, I thought, well, could I handle it? And when I went for the initial meeting, they said, oh, it's very relaxed.
But it was Richard Curtis, wasn't it?
Yeah, and I think they thought it was probably more like, you can go out and meet people for lunch, and it actually wasn't like that. And it's probably better because you're focusing on doing a show every night.
So what are we saying here? That Richard Curtis said, yes, I mean, you could go out for lunch, it's not a problem. You couldn't do any of that.
No, but actually, in the end, I think it would have been very odd if you had walked out into the real world, because, you best to sort of avoid all that and focus on doing the show, because you're literally from the moment you wake up, you're just focusing on learning your song, on getting the choreography.
Well, not everyone from your family thought it was a good idea, though, did they? I mean, your parents didn't think it was the best idea in the world to go in there and do it.
I think they thought it was going to be a positive thing, but probably quite intense, and they were right. It was. But
how many days were you in there?
About 5 years. No, 9 days. 9 days.
9 days.
Yeah.
And all that business about being in a dormitory, sharing with all these other women, grown-up women, that you're not used to that, particularly strangers.
I now know who snores. Adrian Edmondson, Nick
Knowles.
Knowles.
Through the walls.
We got in the morning. We had updates on what was
Edith
going on.
snores like a
talk
trooper.
in my sleep.
Do you?
I do. Adrian said I woke him up. We all shared the last 2 nights. There were only sort of 4 of us left, so we shared a room. And he said, "God, you're not talking your sleep." No idea what I said, but
Probably going through your words, I would have thought.
Probably.
Do you all end up? What's quite funny is that when normally on a day-to-day basis, your voice is fine. Don't think about your throat. Don't think about the minute you have a singing responsibility, you're terrified. You can become paranoid about your throat.
About everything. Everywhere there was honey, ginger, and lemon tea. We were just having loads of it. All of us. Adrian was steaming. We were all steaming in the day. You become obsessed about it, But then you kind of pull back, and in the end you just relax a bit more. I think this is actually for charity, and we're going to have a laugh with it.
Well, you did.
And we did.
How much singing experience had you had before?
Well, I'd done a lot of school, so I'd sung in choirs, and I did a musical at school, the Pyjama Game, with the boys' school, and I sang quite a lot in that. And then I went to drama school at the age of 26, and it was an acting and a singing course for 8 months. So I sort of learnt the basics of breathing and all that. So that was my kind of training, and then that was
I was going to say there's a whole hoo-ha about, oh well, of course Edith Bowman, nobody said that she was in a band 2 years ago and she's done this and she's done that, and think, well, obviously if you're in the entertainment profession, it's a likelihood that you would have brushed against
I think that's exactly
some training at some stage.
Yeah, and I think it doesn't matter. I mean, I read that too, and I thought, well, that's kind of missing the point that this is all about trying to entertain and raise money while we're doing it, so it didn't matter that she did.
Not only that, there might be a different change in your career. The rumours are that the £1 million record contract has been waved at you.
I know. I didn't go in there to get a record contract, and if one was offered, I just don't think I did.
But have interesting things come through on the phone?
I think there have been things that possibly have been offered, but as I say, it's not. I don't think that's kind of where.
Tell me that David
my
Grimrod
destiny
hasn't phoned you up and offered you Chicago.
No.
If he hasn't, he definitely will. Would you do something like that? Would you like to
I've
do
always
something
said
like
I'd like to do musicals. I mean, pop career, I can't. No, it's not really me, and I don't think. But yeah, I do like singing a lot. Although it terrifies me, and I'm probably the worst person to live with when I'm because But I do love it. So.
But would you? I mean, you are leaving EastEnders.
Yes, at the end of this year, so November.
Right,
yeah.
and that's your choice.
Definite.
Yeah, it is my choice.
So
Well, it would have been 4 years, and it's my first real job. Coming out of drama school, so I think it's probably...
Because they must be, I would have thought they'd be a bit disappointed because Barbara Windsor's sort of coming back into it.
She's coming in, isn't she?
And a screen mum is all... So they would have thought, oh, great, we've got the chemistry back together again. And,
yeah, but
and
I think she's coming back in July, so we'll have hopefully a few months just to do some good stuff. And I think Steve McFadden's coming back in as well, isn't he?
He's supposed to be coming back, isn't he?
So the Mitchell family are getting strong again.
Yeah,
which would be
and
great.
the rumours that Ross Kemp might be tempted.
Yeah, I don't know. I've
Pete
heard
Grant.
those too, but it would be great too.
So
to
because there's a sort of new executive team there, and because it once and we've always said on here that soaps do peak and trough. It's always going to be like that.
Yeah.
If you're back on the up again, you wouldn't be tempted. They couldn't tempt you back.
Well, never say never, but I don't know how I'm going to go. I might be, and that would be the
Sure.
November. But it's a fantastic show, and I actually have loved it. Every sort of single moment. It's been brilliant. I've learnt basically on television. That was my training job, really. And I've got nothing but good things to say about EastEnders.
It's right
and
under the microscope. Gosh.
it is. So whatever really happens.
Yes, but of course, there's no looking away from or getting away from the fact that you have been very successful. That has another side of your career has opened up there. Something that you did train in, you worked in.
Yeah.
So there is no reason why you couldn't and shouldn't take advantage of the singing and the fact that you're on a bit of a roll there. I think it would be surprising if you didn't.
Yeah, we got this sort of whole thing. When I was 25, I was working sort of selling soap powder. I was an account manager for a big company. If you'd have told me in the next 2 years you will be in EastEnders, I would not have believed you at all. So I was just thinking, you've got to just see what happens. So things either happen for a reason or they don't. So I'm kind of philosophical about it.
But what I love about Sam at the moment is this suddenly lost everything and blackmailing Chrissy to an nth of the life. So actually in November it might be Chrissy who gives you a bump on the head and
But has enough.
digs you up and puts you down next to Den. Yeah, I mean look out,
I know.
You're
She's not a woman to be.
Spider's nest there.
There's a lot of people being hit on the head in soaps at the moment. We've got a clip from Friday. Let's have a look at that.
What are you doing up here? The next instalment's due. It's time to pay up. No games, all right? Because I'm just not in the mood. Oh, neither am I. If only everything was this easy to settle, eh? What's going on? You've never paid up this easily before. Yeah, well, I'm going to be paying for the rest of my life, aren't I? So I might as well get used to it.
Oh, she missed the opportunity to stab you with a pen.
Stab me there. I've got to really watch my back now.
Yeah, I'm telling you, that's what's going to happen.
Thank you for coming in today.
It's lovely to see you, Kim, and you did such a good job.
Well, thank you.
We were big supporters,
Yes,
and no matter
cheers.
what you end up doing, I'm sure you'll be here telling us about it in November, we think, yeah?
Yes, come back in
well,
November,
we'll see
would
you
you?
then. Thank you.
Yes.
Thanks a lot.
Now, how do you fancy